evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good evening. Welcome to another exciting episode of Rock the Mic, Walk Down St. Mary High Memory Lane. I'm your host, Garfield Waller. This evening, guys, we have an interesting panel here for you, and we hope you'll stick around for the duration of the program. We should be running close to about an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, the aim and the goals of this whole thing is to get St. Mary High Pass students back together again. We have some momentum going, and we'd like to keep that going. Now, like has always been said, if we don't know our history, we don't know where we're going. So, that being said, some of the panelists are from the very early batches. Don't worry, nobody will be left out. We have episodes planned for groups from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, and even the present batch. So guys, please bear with us as we take this step by step, little by little, and we're gonna move this up, ramp it up every week. So ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I wanna bring to you a lady who plays an integral part in the running of St. Mary High. Please welcome Vice Principal, Mrs. Dawnette Lewis. Mrs. Lewis, here you go, ma'am. Go ahead.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I must say thank you, Mr. Waller, for inviting me to be a part of this panel this afternoon. I'm honored because I see in your lineup tonight some very interesting personalities, and I'm honored to be among them. My journey at St. Mary High School started in 1996 when I joined the staff as a teacher of history and social studies. I was teaching until 2003 when I became guidance counselor. So I've been teacher of history and social studies, then guidance counselor, until 2015 when I became vice principal. So I've gone through many different aspects of the teaching and learning at St. Mary High School, being teacher, then guidance counselor, and now vice principal. So it is a very interesting journey. I've come across some very interesting personalities, persons that I am proud to say I have impacted their life in one way or another because they are making their mark in Jamaica and also on the world stage. I'm very happy to be a part of the St. Mary High School family. This year will mark my 25th year at that great institution. I'm happy to be a part of it, and I'm growing and learning. And the past students, Mr. Waller, I must commend you for what you are trying to do because it is my dream too that the St. Mary High School past students will come together and make great things happen because you have been doing so. And I know that greater things will happen later on. So I encourage you to continue this, what you are doing. And I'm sure others will be excited to jump on board with you with whatever initiative you are doing. And I look forward to supporting as much as I can. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Lewis. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Lewis has to run, so want to thank her for coming on and for her kind words, and we hope to have her back one day. Trust me, she will be back. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Lewis. Thanks a lot, man. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we bring to you another person with greetings. Help me welcome the man, the myth, the legend, the chairman of the school board, Dr. Dane Levy. Go ahead, Dr. Levy.
Good night, Garfield. It's a pleasure to be in this kind of company to share with you tonight on this show, which you have developed called Rock the Mic. It's an initiative that it has taken time, but it has found its time now. It is time that this initiative takes steam and go full ahead. On behalf of the board of St. Mary High School, I want to congratulate you, Garfield, and your team for bringing this show on the road. I see some people in the chat that are adding little chats as we go along. Rosemary, Mark, all of those people from my time. And of course, in your audience and on your panel are some people some former students who, I don't want to call them past students because students for life. These men and women are still contributing to St. Mary High School. And I just want to thank you for bringing us all together. Because why? Because we share one dream. We share one aim. And that's to make St. Mary High School not just the school of choice for St. Mary, not just a school of choice for Region 2, but a school of choice for all Jamaica. I think initiatives like these, if we all come together and support initiatives like these and keep our aim or keep our focus on the aim that is to move to the level of excellence for all our students, I think initiatives like these, along with the other initiatives which are being very, very, very evident now, have become very evident. I see Rosemary came up to say hello and pointing out that I have on my school tie. I couldn't come on this program that would be shown worldwide and not bring my school tie. Hi, Rosie. Good to see you talking to us on the chat. And just to mention, I mean, Rosie has been doing yeoman service, yeoman work for St. Mary High School. There are so many names that I could call, some that have just started, some that are already along the way, you know. But what do we need? We need a united effort. That's what we need. We need all of us to buy into this dream, this aim to make St. Mary High School the school of choice for Jamaica. And we can do it. When I look at the list of graduates, I'm not going to call any name, but we have distinguished ourselves in all aspects, in all fields, all over the world. Professors, doctors, lawyers, you name it, businessmen, economists, you name it, performers, singers, actors, you name it, teachers, principals, vice principals, in every field, in every walk of life. What I want to do, I also want to pray that this program, one of many, that we'll all dovetail together, We'll all dovetail together and just bring everything together and just bring the strength of St. Mary High School to the forefront so that we can just make St. Mary High School. We're doing this for the students, right? We're doing this for the students. You know, we have achieved, we have been there, but now we need to make a difference for St. Mary High School. And it is my dream as chairman. It is a dream of our principal. It is a dream of all the board members. It is a dream. I know, Garfield, that's your dream. I know,
Yep.
Rose, that's your dream. I know, Dr. Walker, I've heard us call his name, that's your dream. I know one of our teacher reps, Nick, that's his dream. I know it's all our dream that St. Mary High School will be the school of choice for St. Mary. I just want to congratulate you again, Garfield. I want to congratulate all those that are doing their various initiatives. And out of this, what I hope is that the Past Students Association in Jamaica, the parent body, will come to the fore, will seize the time, seize the opportunity to once again have that strong foundation, that strong effect and impact that a united set of students and a united group of past students can have. We look at all the other schools that have made it to the top, and then we look at them. We see a united group of past students, a united parent teachers association, a united school teachers, administrative, academic, ancillary, everybody united in one dream. So let me just congratulate you, Garfield, congratulate your panelists for taking the time out to come on this program. And I pray Godspeed, and I pray that God will continue to bless you and give you the strength and the energy to continue with this. And I just want to thank all. I'm not going to call any more names, but I'm just going to thank everybody that is working in their little corner in whatever small way for doing this for our students. Thank you, Garfield, for asking me to come. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Levy. Thanks for your address. And Mrs. Lewis and Dr. Levy, blessings. Happy you could make it. Anyway, guys, Dr. Levy now has to run, and I want to say big thank you for coming on. Him and Mrs. Lewis, they'll be back again. Trust me, they'll be back again. All right? Thank you, guys, and take care. Okay. Now, guys, good evening, everyone. Like I said at the start, this is not just about old students. This is not just about my group. And we know that every group thinks that their group, every batch thinks their batch was the best. But we have to go back where this thing started, guys. We have to go back in history. We have to look at the giants on whose shoulders we stand. The guys who laid the groundwork for us. And I'm not going to give that up. I want to start at the beginning. I want to start at the beginning. I know some of you from the other batches are eager to get to your batch. But don't worry. We're going to get there. Trust me. But we want to see the groundwork first. Okay. So, guys, let me welcome. We have a small panel here tonight. Let me welcome from the opening batch, the first batch, that 1960 batch, let me welcome Mrs. Monica Moncrief McKenzie, Triple M, MMM. Hi, Mrs. McKenzie. How are you, ma'am?
I am good.
You're good. We're happy you could make it. Let's bring back again our resident historian to take us way back, Mr. Silbert Samouj. Here we go again with Mr. Samouj. Mr. Samouj, welcome, sir. Welcome.
Hello, all.
All right. Good. And we have another gentleman here. He is from the 61 group. He went in 1961, not 1960. So he'll be able to tell us what that first batch was like and what it was like for him coming in the second year. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Terrence Allen. Here he is.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi, Terrence. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you, Garfield.
Oh, all right. Sorry for coming. Happy to have you here. In fact, I'm sorry for calling you Terrence. It's Mr. Allen. Oh, that's how I was brought up. Okay. No, right. You guys can be on a first name basis. I can't. Okay. So right. we're waiting one more person who should log in at any time, and this is somebody who everybody knows. This is Valerie Bedwood. I think she was having some internet problems, but let's begin. Mrs. Moncrief McKenzie, being a member of that first group, what was it like? Turn the clock back for us.
I'm turning it, and I can see rain that first day, right, guys? It was raining the first day, but we felt so important. We felt good because we were the special people who were chosen to be at that school, and we felt really, really good, you know, in our uniforms. We looked very smart. And I think we sort of looked at the boys too because they had the short pants and they came up to the knees, you know. And I think the boys were very shy. They were right, Samouj? Kind of shy, especially Samouj, shy.
Wait, hold on. Mr. Samouj was shy?
Yes.
I thought he was one of them face boys back in the days.
Not shy. Of course, clearly. We were assembled, you know. And we looked around to see who was there that we knew, you know, children we would know and stuff. But it was the first morning was really, really a special morning that I'm sure that we have not forgotten, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All the teachers we were learning their names and so on. We were placed in our classes 1-1, 1-2, and 1-3, right? And
okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember, Miss Moncrief, do you remember how many girls came in that first group?
Wow. Considering my age now, you know, and that's in your head. I can't really remember.
You can't really remember. Okay, I'm sure Mr. Samouj can remember. Mr. Samouj, how many girls, how many boys?
I don't have a count, but
Mhm.
I make a guess. I stand corrected. I think it would be about 60-40. 60 girls, 40 boys.
What
That's,
boys? Okay.
I could be wrong, but that's my guesstimate.
Okay. All right. Mr. Allen, Terrence, what
Yes.
was it? What was it like that first morning? In fact, even before the first morning, while you were at what, primary school or all age, how did you feel about St. Mary High? What were your thoughts about going to St. Mary High?
I always dreamt of going to St. Mary's School. That was one of my dreams, right? And
Mhm.
in fact, that morning when I went in for the first time, that was the proudest moment in my life because I was actually realizing my dream. And I was not too intimidated by the other guys because a lot of them weren't much bigger than I was. But but from that time we had really a friendly relationship. That they were taking care of each of us, and we could look up to them. The school itself, under the guidance of Mr. Brown, you could see from you when you went in that the
Mhm.
standards would have been high, and
Uh-huh.
the teachers, you know, they that they were there for purpose to mold your lives into something good, you know. And
Okay.
I was fascinated by the the grounds because the school was previously a residence, and you had a lot of citrus and mangoes and that sort of thing around the place. So it was really an inviting atmosphere at the school. And
Okay.
I think my life has been the better for going to St. Mary's School. I don't think I would have had it any other way.
All right. Wait, Mr. Samuj, I have somebody commenting asking you what was the name of your Latin teacher, your teacher of Latin. Do you remember the name?
Mrs.
Okay.
McCulloch. She was an English lady,
Oh,
and
McCullough.
her husband was the Methodist minister in Port Maria.
Okay.
Or at least used to live in Port Maria.
Okay. All right, guys. Since we only have three of you, how have you guys existed as a batch? Do you guys still remain close? Are you still maintaining that close friendship with the others who are still around? Anybody can take that question.
If I may speak, I think we have maintained a very close relationship over the years, right?
Uh,
Um, Samuj and I were in constant dialogue. Monica and I, we have not been seeing each other regularly in recent times because of COVID, but we see each other as Lance. She's in the Lance movement, and I'm in the Lance movement. And
okay.
we keep in touch with guys abroad, not just in Jamaica.
Not just here. Okay.
You know, my friend of blessed memory, Leroy Strawn, when he was before he departed, we had a very close relationship. And like Claude Turnbull, we're still in contact. Baron, we're still Cliff Cameron, we see each other from time to time. So we have, and Valerie, we see Valerie
Uh
because we
huh.
are at the school. We have to commend Samuj for the contribution he continues to make to the school. Is constant there, and we go there on special occasions, and we see a lot of the past students. But what I'm hoping out of this initiative is that we'll be able to take it a step further and cement it into rebuilding the Past Students Association so that we can assist in moving the school forward because it's needed more than ever now.
All right. Thank you, sir. I endorse those views too. Mr. Samuj, you especially had a very, 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 very close relationship with the principal. Can you enlighten us about that? How did this thing start? How did it blossom?
Okay. The principal, of course, you have a special respect for him. He was quite a strict person, but he was approachable, and he had your best interest at heart. After 1965, he migrated to Canada, and I
Okay.
lost contact with him. But he came back to Jamaica in 1970 and came to look for me when I was then working at Scotiabank. And
Uh,
since then, the relationship cemented. And I got to speak to him on a one to one basis of the challenges he had and the opportunities that were presented and what he thought of us. And I must say, he was very happy to learn of his students, especially those in the foundation years.
okay. Uh-huh.
Although Terence might consider himself coming in at the second year, Terence is the most popular Highgate boy, So he's in St. Mary's School
What?
even before he was admitted, right? I remind him a few days ago the name we had for him then. And
Let's hear it.
he blossomed when he came to St. Mary's High School.
Uh-huh.
But some of Mr. Brown's discussions led for me to appreciate the challenges that he encountered.
Yes,
And
as a principal of a
things,
new school, he must have been challenged. Mm.
things haven't changed much. Well, things haven't changed in some ways. For example,
Explain.
there
Mhm.
was a challenge getting qualified and experienced teachers to come to Highgate because Highgate, the housing problem was there. The, the houses were just not available for rental.
Okay. Mhm.
So people would not pull up elsewhere to come to us
To
and
come
not
to,
having
okay.
a guaranteed
Mhm.
housing.
Mhm.
Secondly, the funding of the school, it was always inadequate,
Mhm.
and the school was poised for growth. If Terence and Monica would recall, in the second year, 1961, two classrooms were added, but it was the veranda at the front that was boarded up with plywood to form those two classrooms.
Mhm.
It wasn't a constructed building as such.
Uh-huh.
All right. Um, then I know of some of the challenge of administration. Mr. Brown told me that one week, he came to Kingston on Tuesday to meet with the ministry on the prospects of starting a sixth form at St. Mary High School. After meeting with a team that discussed it with him, when he came back on Wednesday, he realized that the salary for teachers never came, and it was month end, and they have to get their salary. It's not like today where you have
Mm.
technology where you can lodge and it's in your account
Yeah.
in
Uh-huh.
seconds. Or even if you lodge it, their bank account was at Scotiabank Highgate at a sub branch. And it's not, if you lodge that money in Highgate, it will take about 4 to 5 days to reach
To
the
get.
account.
Okay. Okay.
And
Mhm.
payday was tomorrow. So he drove back to Kingston on the Thursday morning for the check. And when he was going through, coming up the stairs, um, one of the education officers came and said, "Oh no, Mr. Brown, not you again. You're not getting any more than we told you to yesterday." Right? When he was there to collect the salary for the teachers.
For the teachers.
And he
Uh-huh.
said he realized that he was beating his head against a wall.
Mhm.
However, it was a school where it was a family culture
Mhm.
because even up to the second year, we hardly have more than 200 students. So we get to
Okay.
know each
You got
other
to know
very
everybody.
well.
All right.
We were
Okay.
sitting at the same little table
Same thing.
where we
Okay.
had lunch, which is a table tennis table. We use it for both table tennis and dining. Um, but some of my fondest memories, I had my first train ride from Highgate to Port Antonio and back
Mm.
to attend performance for the Festival of Arts.
All right. Hold on, Mr. Samud. Hold on, Mr.
Yeah.
Sam. Hold on. We're coming to you again about fond memories. Let me go to Mrs. Mackenzie, Moncrief Mackenzie. Mrs.
Okay.
Moncrief, listen. What school were you coming from before you went to St. Mary High?
Bromley Primary School.
Bromley. Okay. What were your thoughts about Mirzai when you got there?
Well,
Mhm.
I can put it this way. I felt boasty. You know when I say boasty, what I mean?
Yep.
Because it was like we were the cream of the crop. It was a high school there, and we were the ones going there. You know, and some of the children didn't pass their common entrance, so they didn't get to go there.
Uh,
So we really felt on top of the world. And you know, it was like you know, you're going to do things like Latin and you know and stuff like that. So you really felt like you were, you know, on top of the world. It was
okay.
good.
All right, Miss Mackenzie, who was your favorite teacher, Miss Mackenzie?
My favorite teacher was, you know, I liked Mrs. McCullough. She was a
Uh-huh.
she was strict, but she was cool, you know. And one thing I always remember about her, and maybe Samujan, you remember, that you had to know the Latin prayer.
Wow.
If lunchtime, if it was lunchtime, you would not go out until you can say it. Benedict.
wait. So hold on. You had to say prayers in Latin.
Her class at that time, and it was time for lunch.
Uh-huh.
And so everybody would know that even if you didn't know what you were writing or any of the Latin, you knew that. And I if you remember it, guys, Benedictus Benedicta per Jesum Christum Dominum Nostrum. Amen.
Oh my God! Wait. You still?
And
Oh.
then you go out to lunch, you know? Yes.
Uh,
But all the teachers were good because they were like family, you know?
okay.
And because we were a small group, they they knew you individually and they treated
Uh,
you that way. Because like I was a very mischievous girl at St. Mary
what?
High.
You? I would never believe that. Nobody would believe that.
Come out smiling, I got in trouble every day.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I was very because I'm a jolly type of person,
Uh-huh.
and anywhere the mystery was, I was there.
Wait.
So Brown, well, let me tell you something.
Mhm.
We had our prize giving, our first prize giving. We didn't have an auditorium, so
Okay.
our we used to go to the theater up in Highgate. That is
Okay.
where we
Yeah.
had our thing. Remember, guys?
Yeah.
And all of us, because we were a small amount, all of us would go, so nobody would
Yeah.
know who would be getting a prize.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Believe it or not, when I heard Monica Moncrief, I
Mhm.
almost because it must be for trouble. I'm getting that, you know. And you know, but it was so good that Mr. Brown and his colleagues, they looked for one small good thing that I
Uh-huh.
was capable of, and then they gave me. I
And
have
they
the book,
gave
and I have the book enough.
you still have it?
Yes,
Wow.
wine, flowers, and something else. I have it, but
Oh Lord.
I got it for leadership. Whether it is bad leadership or but it was leadership, you know.
Was
And
it
I never forgot that there's something good in in
in,
everyone. You know?
in everyone? Wait,
Yeah.
Miss Mackenzie, you have a story to tell about the first dance, the first social. Can you
It, it,
enlighten our darkness?
it's not a long dance, no, it's a little bit. We had a
Mm.
social. Terence, I don't know if you remember, what down at the science lab. The science lab wasn't finished yet, but the space was there, and it was a social for us. And we all went to the social. Teachers were there and the students. And all the boys sat on one side of the classroom, of the room, and all the girls on the other side. Not talking,
No,
just sitting there, you know. I don't know. You remember Terence?
no dancing
Um,
took place.
No, it was supposed to be a party, you know. And I remember because everybody was on one side. We were looking over the other side, and that's where we had our food and whatever, and then we went home.
we're,
You know,
we're all shy.
You're all shy. Okay.
we were all
All right.
shy.
Terence, do you remember how the people in Highgate viewed you guys? What was the response from the citizens of Highgate towards you, St. Mary, being the first group, first and second group?
No, there's a lot of respect for us. Mr. Brown was a disciplinarian,
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
and in those days we had to be immaculately dressed.
Mhm.
We had to walk in single file when you're on the
Mhm.
road. If you were walking two or three abreast, you'll find a zipper motor car splitting it down the middle. Because he's
Uh-huh.
all going to Highgate, and we were really we had to be disciplined, and so we were an example for the community, right? And I think they were proud of us. I think that the community is still proud of St. Mary's School today because of the legacy, and we have inherited that from the early upbringing in school.
Uh-huh.
Um, One thing Samud hasn't told you, and I will make Samud tell you that one thing that impacts him. If he doesn't tell us, I will bring it up. But Mr. Brown used to use his car. We're talking about buying a bus for the school now. Then
Mhm.
Mr. Brown Zephyr 6 used to carry the football or cricket team anywhere we're going. Right, Samud?
Wow.
Very
It's,
correct.
right? He used to, all of us used to pack up in that vehicle and he would take us, right? But it was really a wonderful experience, and we really took pride of place in Highgate, and as members of school, you really felt proud, and you felt you have a duty to carry the name of the school high.
All right, Mr. Samuch, be honest with me.
Mhm.
When you were in that first batch, did you guys realize that you were going to be the building block of something great? Did that hit you guys at that age?
For me, yes, because it wasn't lost on us that we were laying the foundation. So we have to set example for those to come. And even those of us like myself who didn't have much, um, I wouldn't say ambition, but didn't expect to reach very far in life, um, were spurred on to achieve. You see? So
Uh-huh.
therefore, I suspected that I've been worth something in life, and
Mhm.
it's the teachings of St. Mary High School that um, motivated me. In truth and in fact, Terence would tell you that while we were at Scotiabank, the boys will come on, and one day a fellow from at the bank said, "Oh, there's one of the gentlemen from the college." And Terence corrected and said, "No, St. Mary High School." They were making reference to one of the high-profile schools in
Yeah,
Kingston.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just,
Okay.
just, just to build on that a bit, right? I think it was my first address to the staff at Scotiabank King Street when I came in from Mandeville. And I addressed them at a staff meeting, and quite a few of the boys came up and said, "Boss, boss, boss, you went to the college. You went to the college?" So I said, "What's that? What are you talking about?" They said, "KC, KC." I said, "Man, no, look at me. I'm a fine gentleman. I went to a good school, 38 miles north of here, right?" And, you know, it shows you the quality that was instilled in us from school.
Uh-huh.
We had to make sure we maintain a very high standard. And all of us, whatever field, sphere of life we're in, I always remember St. Mary's School because I would not want to exchange that for anything in the world because we have taken pride of place in our society. It's a great school, great institution, and we just have to know build on this initiative that you have started so we can rebuild the legacy for the others to follow.
All right. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, as you just noticed, Mrs. Valerie Bedward just entered the room. Mrs. Bedward, can you hear us, ma'am? Hello, Mrs. Bedouin,
Yes,
are you hearing us? Please don't be shy.
I'm
Guys, Mrs.
hearing you.
Bedouin is okay, good. She is very shy and we had to coax her to come on. Anyway, Mrs. Bedouin, first question to you, man. How did it feel being in that first batch to get into St. Mary? How did it feel? Is there a delay? Are you hearing me, Mrs. Bedouin?
Oh, I was
Go
as
ahead.
proud as a pea. Yes, I'm hearing
hmm
you. Can you
All right,
hear
go
me?
ahead. Yes, ma'am, go ahead. Go ahead.
You're hearing me?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, let me tell you something. I was one of the proudest students that morning when we entered St. Mary High School.
Why?
The feeling was really, really, why? The feeling was really, we're the first. This was the first high school, the first government high school in St. Mary.
In St. Mary,
And
okay.
I was privileged sharing the experience that first morning. Mm.
Okay. What do you remember about the principal, Mrs. Bedouin? What are your memories of him?
When I thought of him, all
Mhm.
my memories. First thing I remembered was the voice, a
Mhm.
booming, booming voice.
Wow.
Him. I was, it was colossal. It was a really big,
Okay.
yeah. But guess what? He was like a father to us, you know.
Okay.
So despite how we looked and how we walked, around the
Uh-huh.
compound, the campus, he was like a father to us.
All
Yeah.
right. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Samouch, tell us about the buildings we had there. Because I remember as a little grub coming into first form, that little building, on that little board building on the hill. No, I understand there's some connection to Mitzi Constantine Siaga. Can you go back a little bit in time for
Yeah,
us?
but just before I go to answer, lest
Mm.
I forget this, there's one milestone I think I must mention.
Uh-huh.
The team of table tennis players who won the first trophy for St. Mary High School
Mm-hmm.
consisted of Monica,
Oh yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Valerie,
Wait. Which Valerie? Mrs. Bedward?
Mrs. Bedward,
Mrs. Bedward played table tennis?
Yes.
right?
Oh, my, wait,
Yes.
hold on, Mr. Simmons. When I was at St. Mary High, I was petrified of Mrs. Bedward. Mrs. Bedward scared the bejesus out of me. I cannot see her playing table tennis. Oh my God, congratulations
Well,
me.
she was
I, I
also. Go
Garfield,
ahead,
I
go ahead, man.
honestly do not I
We're
no,
having some connection.
I honestly can't think why. I was petrified.
All right.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Simmons. We'll talk about that
There are
another
two
time.
others
Go
that I
ahead.
should
Yeah.
mention:
Mm-hmm.
Noblet Chisholm and
Chisholm?
Carol
Mm-hmm.
Henry. I
Uh-huh.
if I make any error,
Carol
because
Henry.
the last
Mm-hmm.
time I made a public speech, I left out my dear Monica's name. I
Mm-hmm.
hope
She won't let you forget
I
it.
can't forget. So I have to get my facts straight. So I did that, and that could be about 1963, 64. We
Uh-huh.
were
Very early in our school life.
very early. We were more than 4 years old at the time. 4 years as a school. All right, that wooden building there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The floor.
it, uh, which was the first, I know which the school started.
Mm-hmm.
It it was
It
a
was
lovely building.
1964 Samuj.
It was 64.
Okay.
Thank you. I just tried to remember when, and I put
Mm-hmm.
it between the period I mentioned. So that wooden building first housed all the facilities of the school. Um, it had three classrooms, a
Mm-hmm.
library, a kitchen at the back, um, from which
Kitchen.
lunches were served,
Mm-hmm.
operated by Mrs. Young. It had three, four, not bathroom, toilets,
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
um,
Okay.
principal's office, secretary's office, and I think there might have been a staff room, a little room they used for a staff room. I'm not 100% sure. It's a wooden floor. It was quite an attractive building, and
I remember.
it was surrounded by fruit trees, oranges and mangoes. No, we were so disciplined that if a mango drop off the tree, we take it up and carry it to the staff room, and you
What?
make it. And you make it.
We
Oh
had
my God! You had to.
Terrence,
That's true.
Terrence,
Oh my gosh!
one year, some boys came from Titchfield,
Uh-huh.
and you have mangoes on the tree and what have you. They came for some competition. I don't remember what it was. It might be cricket or football. And
it was
by the
football.
next day, football. By the next day, when they look on the trees, only the leaves left on it. They stripped it off. And
Titchfield.
Mr.
Oh.
Brown called up everybody. And one boy started to go for him. He said to the boys, go under the tree from which you pick. And one boy keep running from one tree to the other. I said, boy, why are you running around? He said, it's because I pick off from every tree, sir.
Oh my God! Oh my God! That is funny.
Another thing Monica made mention is the Latin prayer.
Hmm.
But we had a Latin song, Gaudiamus igitur, Ioannes dum sumus. You
Oh my
remember that,
God!
Monica? That
Oh
Oh
my.
Latin
yeah,
song, right? We
Gaudiamus.
right.
Yeah.
So we sang it until we christened one of the boys Igitur, and he bears that name up to today. If I have to speak to him, I don't call by his right name. I just said
Oh,
Igitur, and
What does that mean
we
in Latin?
communicate quite
he's
well.
Dennis.
What does that mean in Latin,
God
Mr.
is
Samuj?
huh?
What does it mean in Latin?
No,
Igitur.
don't ask me, no. I didn't do very well in Latin. In fact,
All right, Terrence.
the only foreign language I did well in was English.
All right, Terrence. What house were you in?
The greatest house ever in
Oh,
St.
that's
Huh?
Henry, right? Henry House.
No,
Good.
Harry,
Harry.
Harry,
Harry House.
Harry.
Come on, man.
The greatest house ever in St. Mary's School
All
is
right, all right. Let's not get into that. Miss Meadows, what house were you in?
White orange.
Whitehorn. I bet you Mr. Samuj was in Henry. Mr. Samuj, what house?
Who
Man,
you
I was an
who are
established
you
and
asking?
committed. Huh?
What house were you in?
Yes, white on, white on.
Oh my
I
gosh,
wore
Whitehorn.
my
I
green.
was in Whitehorn.
I
Oh
never
Lord have
graduated
mercy.
from white on.
so, I was on this Harry house. We used to win
Okay.
everything. We used to win everything.
Oh, Terrence, on that. Why does Harry get all the good athletes?
For
Why?
a time.
I
When
don't I don't know why, but we were just good.
can I come in here?
Yeah.
Then you have to put the points away. Anyway, I was in
Hmm. You were
I
in
was
what house?
I was in Henry House, and
Yes.
we never won anything. But I can tell you a story about Henry House.
Please
That
do that.
this is what's her name?
Go ahead. I think we have. Mhm.
We used to have our sports up at Swift Purcell in the early days,
Okay.
and you know that I won. I was the first champion girl, but Henry didn't come. Henry didn't win anything.
Oh my gosh.
Became the champion girl because Mrs. Rochester says I should go in everything. She says just participate in everything because
Uh
you can only come third because it's three houses.
huh.
So you would get those points. And so you would get those points. And so we got it. And I got the champion girl. But Henry didn't
Uh-huh.
really go first, but at least we won something, Mrs. Rochester said.
You want something? Okay, good. Good.
And let me
All
tell
right.
you something. Let me
Uh-huh.
just tell you something else about we went to the stadium. We would go to the stadium all the time. And this time when we went, we only ran in the heats, I know some of us. But in
Uh-huh.
the, after the heats, we were over. But we found out where Bustamante was staying. It was near where, Valerie, I don't know if you were there. We were staying near where he lived. And we went
Uh-huh.
we were way up there and went in and we got to see him after a long thing. But then
Okay.
we came back. We told Mr. Brown how we saw the Prime Minister, and we told him we came from St. Mary High School and stuff. And he called us up in the Ocean Assembly one morning for the team to come up. And we didn't win anything, but we took the name abroad, St. Mary High School.
St. Mary's School. Okay.
Right.
But let me ask you guys, in the early days, was there any, what was the punishment like for any transgression at school? Was there detention, caning, whatever? What was it like? Mr.
Lines,
Samu?
lines,
Lines?
Lines, lines.
lines.
500 lines every evening. I
Oh
must
my,
not be cruel to my classmates.
That's right.
lines to write. Okay. What's the harshest punishment you got, Samu?
I
He
didn't get
was
the
a
question.
good
Go
boy.
again.
What's the harshest punishment you ever got at school?
I never got any because I was so
No.
quiet
Oh my
Uh-huh.
God.
and passive that I couldn't get in trouble. But I was mischievous,
Mm.
sneaking, call it that. So I remember, I don't know the first caning, but I remember a boy getting caning in Mr. Brown's office.
Hmm.
And he closed the office door, but we couldn't hear a thing that was going on. So we composed our own poem as to what take place. And the poem that we composed said, "Bend down low, let me tell you, let me administer the blow." And that was big. And there was a popular song that
Yes.
had similar wording then.
Uh-huh.
I won't call the boys' name, but we were two foundation students.
Two phone.
And they were
Okay.
two of the
Mhm.
strongest boys in school. And they were fighting outside. And I know one of them was king, but I never heard anything or know anything. Because we could be know that we were there at the keyhole listening.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Incidentally, with Bustamante, he had a strong
Uh-huh.
St. Mary connection. I won't go into it
Okay.
now, but Sif Purcell, the Purcell in Sif Purcell was his sister.
Mhm.
Okay. I've always wondered how that name came about. 6%. Mhm.
Well, that's another history class.
That's another issue.
And I think, Seabird, I think he had some connection with Donato Bay.
Yes, because
Yeah,
Buster Clark was reputed to be his son,
yeah,
who operated Master Key.
yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Then it was a smoking out fire.
Because his first name was Clark before he went Bustamante.
And
Okay.
and
All right.
and
Alexander
and,
Clark.
and while Seabird brought our names, Purcell, I'd go into our first cricket match, and this is something that's very important.
Uh-huh.
The first cricket match we played was against Ferncourt.
Mhm.
Um, we were second farmers and first farmers, right? And when we went, we didn't have any gears. The school didn't have any gears, so we had to borrow the gears from the boys at Supercell Boys Home. And like the pads would catch us on the arm, right? And we journeyed to Ferncourt. And when we reached Ferncourt, we saw some bearded gentlemen. So we said to them, "Good morning, sirs. We are from St. Mary High School to play a cricket match." The guy looked around and said, "St. Mary what? St. Mary what? I thought we were playing big men. I thought we were playing big men." I
Oh,
know.
you thought they were teachers?
Yeah, we thought our teachers are, we turn out one guy was a captain of a Ferncourt. So the match started, and they were gone. They were at 55 without loss. Siebert, you remember?
Yes,
55 without loss, and then we bowled them out for 87 because Turnbull took 7 for 22. So boy, we
Okay.
said we were in with a fighting chance now. Needless to say, the borders were for 9. Borders were for 9.
Not 90, 9.
9. 9. 9.
Nine.
Top score was 3.
Three. Rudolph God made
Rudolph
3.
God made 3.
Okay.
Extras
And the
was 3.
extras was 2 or 3.
Extras was 3. And then the other 3 were between
Oh
10 of
my
us,
God.
right?
Did you tell you?
But what remained with me is when we went back to school the Monday, Mr. Brown called us up before the school and told them about the cricket match. And he said, I was proud of my boys. And in life, it's not whether you win or lose, but it's how you play the game. And he said, boy, we represented the school well and encouraged us. And that never left me. That's the sort of person that he was. You
He
know,
was, okay.
yeah, man, he was a real motivator and left lifelong lessons with us right along the way. Like a lot of us, and I finished on this part, a lot of us, Silver talk about playing table tennis on a dining table, but a lot of us went to finishing school on those same dining tables because Mr. Brown would teach us how to use knife and fork and how to dine on those dining tables. So those of us who have taken our places in society
Uh-huh.
really, during that period have Mr. Brown to be thankful for.
To be thankful
He
for,
was
okay.
he wasn't just a teacher. He sort of he was molding lives to take their place in the wider society.
What about you, Miss Bedford? Do you have any funny anecdotes to tell us about sports or discipline, anything like that? Miss Bedford?
No, Silbert has all the anecdotes. Ask him
Silver
to tell you
that
about the football match, the 20 nil.
All right.
Twenty
about the what?
Following up
Ask
on
him to
what?
tell you about the 20 nil.
22 nil,
Okay.
Oh, the
20,
Yeah,
22 nil. 22 nil.
20
yes,
nil.
When Terrence
22,
Terrence
22
Gansford
nil.
to work, I was part
Football
of the
match.
team.
22?
From
Silver.
22.
22 from
We
Chichi.
played we played um we played Titchfield again.
22 nil.
This was an
Titchfield, from
formative.
Titchfield.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we played Titchfield at Carter Park. And
Yes.
when we played at Carter Park, you're not just playing about playing with the 11 players on the team. You're playing with the umpires, right?
Yep, I know.
You're playing with the weather, playing against the weather. There's
Right.
always and they gave us 22 love. Um, the goalkeeper played in white, and I call him he played in white, and he came off spotless,
Spot the
spotless.
good.
But but again, Mr. Brown encouraged us out of that experience, and we didn't hold that record for too long because shortly after that, Veer gave Bintil 24 love. So
My
Bintil has
gosh.
the record. But
My-
when the score was read on Sports News, even they asked if this is a table tennis score
is that-
or a football match, right? But we took some hard blows because we
you
were
can
young,
imagine.
we were young
Yeah, I can.
still, you know.
All right, my next question is to all you guys. I don't know who wants to go first, but 1960, it's now 2021. How do you look at the school and where the school has gotten to now? Are you proud of the progress? Do you believe we should have been further ahead? Are we lagging behind in anything? What do you guys see? I'll ask Monica to go off with this one first. Yes, how do you see the progress we have made, if
I
any?
am I am proud of the progress. You know, there is still much more that can be done, but I am
Uh-huh.
proud. I can tell you that my grandchildren, my children and my grandchildren are now going to St. Mary High School, my
The same area?
grandchildren.
Okay,
And
okay.
it's if you go to university, I remember there's a batch. There are always so many St. Mary High School students that have gone on to university and doing very well. You
Uh-huh.
know, I think as past students, like we say, if we should really get together more, get together so that we can actually help the school with other things that they need,
Uh-huh.
equipment and stuff like that.
All right. Your sound is gone, Miss Moncrief. Miss Bedouin, what do you,
Um,
what do you think? Your answer to that question, Miss Bedouin.
yes, yes. My answer to that question, when I look at where we're coming from, the odds that were against us, because there were schools that were many, many years older than we were
Uh-huh.
then. And I think we performed extremely well um, when compared with the other schools. And as
Uh-huh.
Monica was saying, if you should take a roll call of where our graduates are, you would see that we're second to none. You know,
Mhm.
we can compare with any of the other well-established schools. We are all over.
Uh-huh.
We are international, and we're in all
Yeah.
the very high places.
Yeah.
Professors, doctors, all over. As Monica said, there is still some way to go because we could do with some other facilities, and I think
Uh-huh.
that's where the PSA comes in right now.
The PSA,
We need
okay.
to get back
Yeah.
to a strong
Yeah, we're
association.
gonna yes,
Yeah.
we're gonna get some people from
But
the
I think
PSA
we're
on
we're
board.
holding our own. We're holding our
We're
own.
holding our own. Okay. Terrence, what do you think about that? Are you
Well,
proud of where we are now? Do you see
um,
more work to be
Hmm.
I'm,
done?
I'm extremely proud of the school.
Yes, we're holding our own.
Um, if when you go to prize giving or graduation
Mm-hmm.
and you see the performance of the students, or hear the achievements of a school, right? The students. It's not just academically, right? Extracurricular activities and that sort of thing. It's a well-rounded school. We dominated the World Bars Trophy for many years. This year we're coming back into, prior to COVID, we started dominating Eastern champs again, and
Mm-hmm.
we're doing well at at champs. But
Um,
I think when you look at the other established schools, the thing that they have that we don't have is a very robust class student association, and that is something that
yeah. Hmm.
we need to work to rebuild, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh, um, we have had some issues over in the past, but we need to go beyond those, right? And look to see how we, as individuals, beneficiaries of the school, can contribute to the future growth and development of the school. But the school is doing extremely well, and it's a highly regarded school within the country. Very
Okay.
respected school.
Very
Um,
respected.
can, can I
Yes, Miss
come in
B.
here, Garfield?
Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Right. Um, it is a well sought after school. We are in Highgate, and yet a lot of our students are not really from Highgate. They're from the outskirts, they're from St. Anne, St. Catherine,
Mm-hmm.
they're from all over. And I'm not
Okay.
sure if many people remember that not just as Terence says academically, but in sports. Do you remember that we won girls champs 2 years in a row?
2 years in a row. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. I
Mm-hmm.
remember those
We
days.
did.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And we have
And
no playing field.
yeah,
We have
Right. Mm-hmm.
Olympians, but we have no playing field.
No, yeah, no field to run on. Mr. Samoot, how do you answer that question? And where we are today from where we're coming?
Well, we have certainly come a far way. Um, I'm very proud of the school. It's highly regarded. There are being closely associated with the school over the years, there
Mm-hmm.
have been some disappointments, but there were circumstances beyond our control.
Okay.
Um, what we need to do is to give the school more support, not necessarily financially,
Uh-huh.
but we can make contribution in several ways. Um, More so than now than ever, I don't think we can depend too much on government for funding. We as a body, and it's a large body of staff, past students, and we have some very significant ones. And it, had
True.
it not been for
True.
St. Mary High School, most of us would not be where we are today. And that should never be lost on us. And we
True, sir.
can't disrupt St. Mary High School. So therefore, if we can get the past student body to work together, to cooperate with the school and to pull it forward, we can achieve much, much more. Because I know time is running out on us, but I look back at the extracurricular activities. Who remember Festival of Arts?
Yes.
That
Yep.
we used to win so many
Yep.
trophies.
Oh yes.
We used to steal the show. Singing. If you couldn't
We
sing,
still do some old. We still
yes,
do.
you do, but I can't, right? But from long time, there were gifts to school, some of which are recorded, like the first piano, which was given to the school by Maurice Cargill, but it really
Uh-huh.
belonged to Noel Coward, and it was at Firefly. That's what my research on
Oh,
this.
okay.
Right. Um, when I say we're coming from a far away, like graduation now is elaborate. The last ones we had were elaborate. You could see 300-400 people there.
Uh-huh.
I remember it was from the classroom, and the teacher said, "Go out, sleep with dogs, but um, don't catch
Freeze.
fleas." And that was your graduation advice.
Oh my God.
Please.
All right. All right. So let me just say something here. Some people listening may not take this the right way. But what do you think it is that keeps most of our past students away? That have them maybe drop their hands off the whole St. Mary High ball. I noticed a lot of past students, it's just like they don't want to get involved. What do you think it is? And what do you think we can do to bring them back into the fold, to have them support the school? Any suggestions, Monica? I know
Can
you
say,
got to think about that one, but go ahead.
um, Remember, there's one thing we should remember,
Uh-huh.
especially for the batch that I was in.
Uh-huh.
A good portion of my group migrated shortly after graduation
Uh-huh.
because their parents had migrated in the 50s to England and the USA predominantly. And the moment they left school, they went straight to join them, and they lost contact with the school. Um, some of them who left went on to other high schools in the
Yeah,
corporate
true.
area,
True.
and so they adopted that high school because they were more established and had formal structures that we never had in place at the time.
Okay. What do you think
Um,
about that, Terence?
That is true, but I think really that it speaks to, and I'm going to say this.
Say it, man. Say it. Say it.
I'm going to say this because this is something that I've thought of for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we used to raise funds for the EU Cargill scholarship, right?
Uh-huh.
And the students who were beneficiaries of those scholarships, we never got much out of them after they graduated from a tertiary institution.
Okay.
And and it speaks to your commitment. One of the things, one of the conditions of scholarship, and correct me if I'm going offline, Silver, was that you're asked a question, will you are you prepared to go back to work in the parish to assist the school? And the youth invariably answers yes. But
Mhm.
after they graduate, we never hear anything from them. Most of them, we don't hear anything from them. So it's not to say that we have not been doing things to help them, but they have not been reciprocating. And it is it's a commitment to the institution, your loyalty to the school, because we can, as past students, I think we can do if we are united. And I said in the past there might have been issues, but I think we should bury those issues now and look at the school, the direction the school is going, and the role that we can play in moving the school forward and assisting the school. This initiative with getting the bus, I think, is a wonderful initiative. And we can see those things that we can rally around the school, help the school, and just bear the attitude and let us move on. But the school needs our support now. And I see a lot of us are listening. And Garfield, you must be commended for this. And those who are listening from abroad, I'm appealing to them to join forces and let us try and rebuild the Past Student Association, right? I know people in Florida are doing a wonderful job.
Yep.
Let the people in, let us get the people in Canada, England, wherever, right? St. Mary's School has played a significant role in our lives. Let us think about what we can do to ensure in these difficult times that others who are going through the school now can benefit,
Can benefit.
right? And move us. But we have to understand. You see, we talk about the KCs and the Calabars, but these guys have a commitment to the school, to their schools. And I don't think they're better than St. Mary's School.
Right, not better.
We can do the same thing, right? So my appeal, Garfield, continue this program. If we have to come back, we come back. Or get other people to come in because they might you're gonna hear other views, right?
Right.
But let us move forward, faith and courage.
Faith and courage. Thank you, sir. Well said. Miss Bedouin, over to you. Why do you think there's this I
Yeah.
don't know what to call it, this apathy among some of our students?
um, Erin said something that's very interesting. I share a little bit of that.
Uh-huh.
There may have been things in the past
Uh-huh.
that turned off some people, and but I'm appealing like Terence. Sometimes we see the connection with the, sports for one.
Uh-huh.
When we are at the stadium, you will see a lot of the past students and everybody want to
Yep.
share in the glory.
Mm-hmm.
But when that dies down, the commitment ends. And so whatever might have happened in the past that have caused some people to be turned off, even in the PSA, I understand there were some internal struggles and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Um, Let us rally once more. We're sounding
Once.
the call. No, whatever
Yep.
it
Okay.
was, let's start again.
Yeah, and Miss Bedouin, honestly, I
It's,
really
it's,
want to get some people from
the,
the PSA.
it's the more recent generation, they know. You can't be looking to the pioneer students now.
Right, right. We need everybody involved. We need everybody
Yep.
involved. And people listening, listeners, listen. What I want to make clear is that coming into this thing, there's no ego involved. Please, no ego involved. We'd like to grab everybody and we form one cohesive unit. Leave your ego at the door. And all we're in this for is to
Mm.
move the school forward. We have done our years at the school. Let's do something so that this generation now can benefit from it, and that we'll all be
That's
proud
right.
to say that, hey, we are St. Mary High alums. But guys, I want to thank you all for coming on. I want to thank you all, and it's been a pleasure hearing from you guys, especially the ladies. And one day maybe hold a reunion dance and see if you guys can, instead of sitting on both sides of the
Get
building,
together.
can get together. See you guys
All
can
right,
get
Monica.
together. But I'm happy. I'm happy you guys tune in this evening. And for those who missed the beginning, you missed the address by the vice principal and Dr. Levy, the chairman of the board. And I think it was quite informative, quite motivational. Next week, guys, and like I promised, it won't always be the guys from the founding years. We're gonna showcase every batch. Believe me when I say every batch. So this thing is gonna be going on from now till I don't know when. But we want batches from the 70s, the 80s. We want past head boys, head girls. We want teachers. You name it. We want sports team. Everybody, and we want people from the different houses too. I mean, if you listen, in my humble but correct opinion, if you weren't in Henry House, you were homeless. All right, just putting that out there. So, right, Mr. Moncrief, I know you back me up on that one. But guys, thanks for coming on, and
No.
I
Thank you.
know that some of the viewers are gonna kill me, but when you guys leave the screen, I want to say to the viewers, don't go to bed because we are going to be having a little Zoom meeting after where everybody gets in a meet and greet and we can chat. I'm going to put the information on my timeline, so just go back to the page where you click to access this, and I'm going to put the Zoom link up there. All right, so Mr. Allen, thank you very much, brother. Thanks for coming on.
Great, Garfield. Great show. And
Thank you, Mr. Samo. Blessings, thanks a lot.
Blessings.
Miss Moncrief, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And to my new tennis champion, Miss Bedford, thanks. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. All right, guys.
All right.
Have a nice evening.
great seeing you
Okay,
guys.
and
Great seeing you guys, man.
ladies, happy Valentine's Day to you tomorrow. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Garfield, we in
Oh,
touch.
Okay.
all right. Easy. Yeah, man. We will be in touch. We will be. Guys, for the other viewers, could you just go to my timeline and click on the Zoom link and let's rock. Let's have some more fun. All right. So I'm gonna put that link up now. So right now I'm ending this broadcast. Thanks for watching. Let's get to Zoom. It's on my timeline. I'm gonna put it up in a few minutes. Give me just 5 minutes. Log back in. We are gonna have some fun. I'm hoping everybody can do it orderly. Mute your mics when you come in, and we'll just say hello to each other. All right, guys. Over and out. This has been Garfield Waller on Rock the Mic. Take care, guys. To the ladies, happy Valentine's Day tomorrow.